Hey, you guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. So I've spent over a decade teaching people how to take control of their money. And after about 10 years of experience, I can confidently say the number one obstacle people have from building wealth is debt. So whether it's student loans, car payments, credit card debt, no matter what type, debt is keeping people from being able to spend their money how they really want to. But here's the good news. There's a solution. Yep, not only is it possible for you to get out of debt, but even more than that, it is within reach, you guys. Like, it is possible for you. And we've done a few episodes where I've asked you guys if I could see your budgets, and you guys say that those videos have been really helpful. And I love to know that because I want to know what is helpful to you. So looking at people's real life budgets is really, really key because hopefully you can get some learnings from it. So today, I want to show you how I would budget, but this time with $55,000 of debt. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how I would spend a gross income of $50,000 annually while trying to pay off $55,000 in debt. And if you want to check out a few of the other budget how-to videos I've done, make sure to check out the description below because I will link them there. Okay, before we dive in to today's debt payoff budget, I want to tell you about telestrations. So board games is one of my favorite things in the world. I love playing games. Even the girls in my neighborhood, we have game nights like 4 times a year, and we always bring out the games and play. My kids have started to love games, and our other family, the Ramsey family in general, love games. So all that to say, one of the games that has been a hit always with anyone that has played is telestrations. So this game is hilarious because you got to do a little drawing, you got to do a little guessing, and all of it together it makes for a really fun night. So make sure to check out Telestrations by Op Games, and you can check it out there at opgames.com, Walmart, or wherever you buy board games. All right, so that you guys can kind of follow along with this example of this budget, I'm going to use our budgeting app EveryDollar to help out. And it's something that I use every single month, and it's wonderful. Now, I'll give you some more of the backstory on this lovely person who's allowing me to look over her budget. And her name is Raquel. So Raquel is single. She's engaged to be married and actually planning a wedding right now, which is so exciting. And she's from Kentucky. She's a medical assistant who brings in $50,000 a year. She's working 2 jobs. And she currently has $50,000 in debt that's currently in deferment. So her money goal is to pay off her debt and be able to save enough money so that she doesn't feel like she's living paycheck to paycheck. Amen. Hallelujah. This is for so many people. This is how they're feeling. And as you can imagine, the $50,000 that is in deferment is student loans. And so people are looking at their budgets and thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? So always remember, there are 2 parts of this equation that I always look at: cutting expenses and bringing more income. Those are really the 2 areas that you can control the most to really get ahead when it comes to your budget and your money. So let's take a look at Raquel's budget. So she gets paid, it looks like, twice a month. It's about $1,400 each. And then she has a side hustle bringing in $360 with an income of $3,100 coming in after taxes. So this is net. She's currently not giving right now. She has an emergency fund she's saving up $100 for. She's saving up for Christmas, a sinking fund, $100. Her wedding, $300, very exciting. Rent, mortgage is there. Her water, gas, electricity, cell phone, car insurance, CrossFit, an LLC business. All right, a monthly subscription of Identity IQ. I'm not sure exactly what that is. EveryDollar, hey. Groceries, restaurants, personal care, gas, free money, no clothing, dog food, car maintenance. Okay, so what's great is already what I just see in just her expenses, you guys, is she, doesn't have like a ton to cut. So she really is being very specific with her lifestyle. There's nothing like majorly outrageous so far that I see. Okay, let's get down to the debt. We got a Target credit card. So she's planning on paying minimum balance here. Apple credit card, wedding dress, Chase in collections, okay. Capital One in collections, personal loan, Upstart in collections, and student loan in deferment, okay. So one side note I will add for you guys, if you have credits that is in collections, sometimes, and I'm gonna say more often than not, they will actually settle a lot of your debt situation. So if you have any money saved and you have money in collections, you can actually offer them a cash deal And that is where you're more apt to negotiate down your debt, is if they're in collections. Now, if you're current on all of your debt, don't go into collections to do this. But if you're in that case, so this is one thing I would recommend to her, just to call and say, hey, sometimes they can do not quite pennies on the dollar, but they can definitely take a significant amount less, because obviously she wasn't paying to a degree, so it had to go into collections. So that is a side note when it comes to debt. Okay, so she has a $50,000 income, you guys, and again, $55,000 in debt. And so the formula here is pretty lopsided. Okay, so one of the first things that I see that we always preach, and I will forever do this, you guys, is to be giving. So let's say 10% right now, and you can tell that she's over budget some, which we'll get back to here in just a second. Okay, automatic, y'all. I'm about to be the Grinch. The Grinch. We can't afford to save for Christmas right now. Like, if you're looking at her situation, this isn't really a place. Christmas is not a need. It is a want. It's a generous want. But I'm going to say in 2023, with all the debt that she wants to pay off, and on top of that, you're planning a wedding, there's not a lot of margin for Christmas. So, Raquel, we're going to say bye-bye to Christmas. I'm so sorry. I saw that. Okay, another one, y'all. It's CrossFit. Now, listen, I am all about being healthy. In fact, I am working out right now. But you know where I'm working out? In my driveway. Yeah, because I don't want to go to the gym because I'm very intimidated. So that's another issue for another day. But the point is, you can still exercise and be healthy and not be part of a gym, which I know is really hard. I want her back in CrossFit. Raquel, I'm sure, loves CrossFit. It's probably part of her outlet. But the outlet is going to have to be walking or running outside and lifting weights at home, doing something else, because $170 is a lot of money right now when you're already somewhat behind and have all this debt. So I'm going to be nixing that. All right, as we go down, oh, and by the way, Identity IQ is identity theft protection, which is great because we're all about that, because identity theft is a real thing these days, so you want to protect yourself. Okay, some free to spend I would keep in there as kind of that miscellaneous category. I would keep car maintenance, especially if she has a car that she knows may have to have work. Having that sinking fund, I think, is great. Okay, so here's the deal, you guys. We are still over budget by $61, by almost $62. And here's the thing. We have to get to an every dollar budget. And even more than that, we need some money to be paying off debt. Okay, so after knowing Raquel's story, she's saving up her emergency fund of $1,000. So even before she tackles this debt, we want to bump it up. So I want her to be able to do this in like a month to 2 months, getting that $1,000. So what I would recommend, and this is what I would do, and again, I know it's not fun, but I would take that side hustle and triple it. Like, I would go and say, hey, I'm going to work nights, I'm going to work weekends, because here's the thing. That $50,000 and $55,000 in debt with no savings, that doesn't help you guys. That means that there's no margin there, and you have to create margin. And at this point, looking at her budget, she's cut everything. She's not spending out the wazoo. So the only other part of the equation is the income. So what I would recommend if you find yourself in this position is go, number one, and shop around jobs, you guys. Like, when you're at that $50,000 mark, who else is hiring? Have wages gone up in your area? Is there anywhere else that you could be with your salary job, be making more, plus a side hustle? So if not, again, my goal for this would be I would work 4 nights a week. I would work at least a full day on the weekends, just to be able to get some money in. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do this right here. And I'm gonna really push her that she needs to be making more in order to find some level of margin and to get this momentum building. Because that's the key, right? You have to start this process, because when you start to see it, then you're like, oh wow. Maybe looky here. I'm gonna sell something in my house, and I'm gonna go and make an extra, $300 on Facebook Marketplace. Maybe it's a sofa that you don't need anymore, or maybe it's an extra TV, like whatever it is around the house, like you find stuff to sell to bring in money. So let's just pretend that this was our month and we're killing it, you guys. So look, $878 left. Okay, that's with a lot of hard work. I understand, but this is what we want. So we're gonna go to her emergency fund and we're gonna up it, y'all. And this is what's so crazy is it's an every dollar budget. She almost has her emergency fund done, okay, for this month, which is incredible. So we're gonna just round up and do Rachel math. She has $1,000 saved. Baby step 1, check. Now, here's what's crazy. We keep this going. and we're selling stuff. We are working hard, okay? And so this emergency fund, let's pretend that instead of August, this is September. So emergency fund is done. We have our $1,000 saved. Now we're gonna look to be paying off debt. So let's say we have all that money left, you guys, because remember, this is pretending September. This is what's fun. This is where you start to see the momentum. Let's go here, and that Target card's gonna be paid off. But that means you still have $572 left. So what's crazy is you add that to the 30. So then you got, what is that, $602. Every dollar budget. So that means, oh my gosh, what's left is like $170 for next month. Okay, so that's September. Let's just go crazy. Can we keep going? We're gonna keep going. So let's pretend it's October, okay? Remember, we got $100 left there. So Target's out of here. So October, that's out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete Apple, but remember we have an extra 100 in our minds because this is just where I wanna show you like how crazy all this gets. Okay, so then you have $1,100 left because those 2 minimum payments now are in the debt snowball. So then you look at the wedding dress with $200. Well, that wedding dress, that's gonna be paid off because we have all of that. So you add $200 to that. So let's go ahead and pay that off, $900. You have $437 left there. So we're gonna add that, $462.01. Okay, so then you have that, which is crazy. So then you're working, you're going. What are we, October? And then we're gonna delete that because then we're gonna look at November. Well, November, you got $900 left with this $400, so then you're gonna pay that chase off. So you just keep going down. Do you see that momentum building, you guys? And we're already in November. So it's Thanksgiving and she's already paid off, 3-4 debts already as she gets this going. But that means that extra work. And that means selling stuff that's finding that extra money. But you see that momentum start to build with the debt snowball. And before you know it, she's gonna be hitting that $50,000, which is gonna be a lot. But already, I'm not even Raquel, but I'm like, oh my gosh, you start to see it happen and you get excited because you actually see there's hope. And when you start knocking off those smaller debts, it just feels so good to get them out of the way. So you guys, this is what's powerful about the debt snowball and about budgeting because you can be so intentional and that's when you start to sacrifice. As you're sacrificing lifestyle and you're sacrificing time by working extra to throw at the debt. When all of this is paid off, can we just dream for a second with her? Let's just dream. We're gonna delete all this debt. And again, the 50,000 is an uphill battle. That's gonna be, in that 10,000, right? She's gonna be trucking along. This is gonna take her some time, but once she gets married and then they're dual income, that's helpful too. We'll throw that. So what's crazy is right now, every single month, if she starts this, she has $1,500 extra. And baby step 3, we say to keep going with that momentum. So you're gonna keep that going, but then you think, golly, I mean, after baby step 3, you can quit the side hustle, you quit selling stuff, which selling stuff, you'll probably run out of stuff to sell at that point, so that'll probably be next. But you just start to see, wow, there's my income. Like you look at that, y'all, and like, that's the power of not having debt, is all of that money is back to you. And so whether it's saving or investing or saving up to replace a car or a vacation, like that is where life starts to be like, oh my gosh, my income really is my largest wealth building tool. So this was kind of a dream session, but there's gonna be some sacrifice required for Raquel, but I think she can do it. And you know what? When you look at the numbers, you're gonna want to. The debt that made me be like, oh, which I'm sure it does to her too, is that student loan, you guys. And man, student loan debt, it is coming. But here's the deal, you can have a plan. You can start to do this. And so we wanna walk you through not just how we got here in this student loan predicament, but we also wanna show you how to get out. So we're doing a student loan debt live stream, Dave Ramsey, Jade Warshaw, and myself. So if you wanna join us, go to ramseysolutions.com/student loans to watch it because we wanna help you get rid of your student loan debt. So Raquel, I wanna thank you so much for sending in your budget because as you start to unpack it, and I'm sitting here, I have so much hope for you. And I hope you have a beautiful wedding and I know that you can do this because guys, there should never be shame around money and it takes courage to let people see your progress and to see what's going on. So thank you again, Raquel, so much. Now, if you're interested in knowing more about budgeting or giving it a try for the very first time, make sure to check out the Every Dollar app. It's 100% free to download and you'll see Raquel had an Every Dollar line item in here. And that's because she has Every Dollar Premium, where that has a lot of features like paycheck planning. It attaches to your bank account, so all your transactions come in here. It really is probably the most efficient way to budget. So there's a free version and every dollar premium. So make sure to check those out. And if you want me to go over your budget, then make sure to send your information to budgeting@ramseysolutions.com. All right, you guys, send this video to a friend who might feel like they're trying to catch up on debt and they want to see some progress in their money. And remember, you guys, there is hope. You can always decide to wake up and make different choices about your life and money to see progress. I know it's possible for Raquel, and it's possible for you too. So remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.